Cash rules everything around me. When that line dropped, it changed the whole hustle. Introducing the Sprite Living Track List. 50 tracks that shaped the culture from 6 decades of hip-hop. Scan the QR code on a Sprite or Sprite Zero Sugar to see the full breakdown. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Have no fear. Chosen Foods is here to defend your favorite foods from the forces of seedy oils and sketchy ingredients. With cooking oils, salad dressings, and mayo, all powered by the good fats from 100% pure avocado oil and simple, delicious ingredients. Chosen Foods.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either gonna be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Drink? Now, shall we begin? Hello! The Odyssey is the new epic from Christopher Nolan, starring Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson. Tim Hewitt joins me as we discuss casting, accents, costume, Batman costumes, and plenty more. Spoilers are a possibility, though if you're familiar with the Odyssey, I wouldn't worry. Coming up will be an Alexander special as Edmund Richardson joins to discuss his new biography of the great man. And there's a new AI-generated movie, and I talked to the director all about Alexander the Great and his successors. But until then, let's head into the film club for the Odyssey. Tim, welcome back.
Thank you.
And so you very sadly missed Zulu Dawn
Yes.
podcast. Did you listen to that episode?
I have. Yes, I have done.
Oh, well done.
I sort of on the train,
Yes.
in and out of reception, on my Spotify. Zulu Dawn. I haven't actually seen it yet.
Oh, right. Well,
So-
your substitute filled in. Did Sterling work?
Wonderful stuff. And more knowledgeable than I've ever been.
Well, no. Yes, but in a different way. You're impossible to replace.
Well, that's very, very sweet of you.
Well, and that's why I quite thought it would be a brilliant idea to have your pearls of wisdom for the Odyssey, which obviously has been out for a while now. I think was it a couple of months?
July, a month.
Oh, right. So it's
Yeah,
still,
it's
I guess
mid-July,
it's still
yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to think about spoiler alerts. Do we need to worry about spoiler alerts? If you don't know anything about the Odyssey, then spoiler alerts are coming.
Well, I suppose.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've read the Odyssey, then I don't think there are spoiler alerts.
No, I don't suppose so. I guess I don't know if there are really any.
I think there might be
spoilers, though.
one thing that I do want to talk about. So basically, I'll just say there are spoiler alerts, and if you're worried about, giving anything away, don't listen to this, because we'll be picking it apart. Now, I guess I approach this with a little bit of trepidation because the ancient world often doesn't do that well, does it? In Hollywood,
in movies.
I think the last film was we actually discussed Alexander, which is based on a real live, historical figure. Whereas this is myth, so there is some truth to it, but it's obviously embellished tales sung by poets and singers and other such people in the archaic periods of ancient Greece. So, it's not as though, I don't think we can be terribly upset if the film is not completely faithful to a particular interpretation of the Odyssey. But the last film, I think, was the one with Brad Pitt, which was called Troy. And I watched that in the cinema and thought it was an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, it was.
But now
a
it's
bit of
been picked up by the certain people, I think, that it was a kind of shining example on the hill for filmmakers to aspire to, which I do think is a bit much. And that was in
Really?
the context of casting choices by Mr. Nolan. But Tim, I don't know what your feelings were about the whole kind of pre-Odyssey, I guess would call it fear, concern.
In Hollywood, or I mean, filmmaking.
I think generally, I think generally before people had watched it, and this is a lesson to people, is that you must watch a film before you comment on it. But I think there was a lot of concern over casting, and also and I think a few anachronisms that people didn't like via armor and things like that.
Yes.
Now, that's something that I
Well, it was
think
the first
Homer's
image,
Odyssey
Matt,
is anachronistic, so that's forgivable. But sorry,
it was the first image of Damon, wasn't it? It was the first image of Matt Damon that was published, that everyone had a sudden go at. The helmet, I think, that wasn't accurate. I mean, I you know, so as a film lover, not as a historian, you know, it was the same. Maybe it was the same principle as the Scots painting their faces blue in Braveheart, you know, which didn't happen in that period.
Oh, didn't it?
Apparently. Well, at least my memory is that historians came out and said, you know, that ended decades, centuries before,
wasn't it? Yeah, the Picts did that, not the
but you know, there's always going to be, if particularly a film where it's on such a grand scale with let's be honest, Nolan is an industry now. I mean, you know, his name alone will finance a film immediately. So there's always going to be people that are going to have issues with, you know, the need to pull someone down and diss them or diss the film without even seeing it. It's always going to happen. You can't really avoid it. So I you know, it didn't really bother me, but I can understand that there are going to be scholars who are going to have issues with certain casting, the color of someone's skin.
Yes,
you know,
I think, okay, let's talk about the casting then, because I mentioned it, you mentioned, you may as well just get the elephant in the room out of the way. Now, we did an episode talking about Lawrence of Arabia, in which Alec Guinness played the leader of the Syrian revolt, King Faisal, and he was absolutely bloody brilliant in it. So I don't think we can then be harsh and complain about the actress who plays Clytemnestra and more significantly Helen. She's same actress.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's difficult for us to complain about that if we liked Alec Guinness in Lawrence of Arabia. I'm being wrong or being inconsistent? Probably am. It's not exactly the same, is it? Because she didn't white up.
I mean, it's not exactly the same, because it's no, exactly. I mean, the issue I think is the other way around. But she's awesome. I mean, I just think she's a great actress. I don't know how is Helen described? Let's just get that out of the way. I think
she's described as fair, but that meaning might she in the Greek. I think the translations come up with fair. It's but that could not necessarily mean fair as in color, as it could mean fair as in attractive. Right. Or I don't think it would mean fair as in average. She's average
or just. She's a just person.
But I think it's highly likely, and I know there'll be lots of scholars who have probably spent hours on YouTube explaining why, yes, actually it's perfectly reasonable to have someone from, I think the actress is Kenya originally. It's perfectly reasonable for Kenyans to be wandering around ancient Greece. But I think if we're all honest, I mean, you know, highly likely she was Spartan, therefore a Caucasian white person. But I mean, that's just the likelihood of this mythical figure.
Well, That's a very good point. Yeah, it didn't. What? I'll tell you what. It didn't take me out of the story.
No, it wasn't jarring. Like, I think there was Anne Boleyn in the second series of Wolf Hall.
Yeah, which can
that was jarring.
It's inevitable for you to with such a known historical figure, not mythological figure, to perhaps jar you and adjust to, and then go, okay, let's get colorblind casting. Let's move on. But this, it's full of diverse cast. The Odyssey I'm talking about is a diverse cast. It worked. I mean, it didn't bother me. I watched everyone and believed them.
Yeah. I think there was a sort of the figure played by the Elliot Page.
Yes.
Ellen Page. Yeah. Elliot Page.
Ellen originally, and now Elliot Page.
Yeah. Who plays a sort of weedy soldier who comes across.
Oh, very good, really.
Yeah.
Great performance.
No, I think there were concerns that she'd be playing Achilles. That would have been a problem. But
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he.
Yeah, I mean, but he was playing a male soldier, so yeah, I didn't. But I
always find I'm in slightly choppy waters in this subject, so I always assume I'm going to say something stupid or wrong.
No, of course, but the thing is that technically speaking, my theory, but my assumption is that one shouldn't actually have to talk about this sort of thing, but of course, it's inevitable that one does. Well, okay. If you're asked about it.
Well, he played a very weedy soldier very effectively.
Yeah, and I thought his Hades scene, I thought he was actually very, very good indeed.
Okay. Yes.
When
yes.
He isn't. Yeah.
I thought that was rather good actually. But why don't we just do overall what our impressions of the film? And I would say, and I'm a huge Nolan fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the Nolan film that I've enjoyed least.
Okay.
Very
Have you seen them all?
Yes. Right. Apart from the very first one, which he
Following.
kind of. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. I think your mind would probably change if you saw that.
Oh, is that terrible?
It's okay. No, it's not terrible. It's just, you can see it's done on minimal equipment.
Well, I'll tell you why I didn't enjoy it as much as all the others is that what I love about all a Nolan film is when they're sci-fi, they're done so cleanly and effectively. When he does, so that's whether that's Interstellar or the one about sleeping. What's that one?
Yeah,
Inception.
Yeah.
And then when he does the Batman films, they're really kind of took Batman back from the Michael Keaton Batman into sort of I guess first principles, and then Dunkirk, Oppenheimer, these sort of epic films, and then even I guess Tenet is sci-fi as well, but also with a kind of spy thriller to it. The Prestige I love, which is a kind of a spy film but a bit sci-fi as well. All these films,
magic.
Yeah, I find them completely thrilling, but they're quite cold and unemotional in a way. In that they obviously they've got love stories in them, but they're not really central to the plot of the film, and really it's about ideas and
I agree,
and stories that are really interesting. And the Odyssey for me is a kind of quite an emotional tale, and I didn't feel much watching it.
Really interesting.
And I thought a lot of the dialogue I thought was just really bad. And he has been criticized for his dialogue in his films in the past, which I think you can get away with when you're doing stuff like Tenet or Oppenheimer.
Well,
Actually,
Oppenheimer,
did
I
a
thought
good
the
job with
script was
Oppenheimer.
excellent. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was.
very
It was. Yeah, it's a wrong example. But some of the others, like I think Interstellar, maybe, I don't know. The Dark Knight, all these Batman films.
Yeah, I
mean,
always thought he's quite a good writer, actually. That's
well, I thought
I mean,
I thought some of the dialogue in the Odyssey was really laugh out loud bad.
right. Can you give examples?
Towards the end, when he's sort of talking about, his return from home, and there was a scene where Penelope is talking to her son Telemachus, played by Tom Holland, and she goes completely off the rails, storms out.
Yes. Is that when she says, "I wanted this," yes, and then leaves?
So yeah, something like that. Yeah. I thought that was terrible, that scene, actually, and embarrassingly bad. And Penelope, I thought was this sort of extraordinary figure, and she'd been reduced to this sort of screaming lunatic.
Oh,
and
really?
Penelope, to me, is this sort of very calculating, clever, strong woman, and that's not what she was in this scene, and I didn't like that. And I thought the dialogue in that scene was also not good. So I guess what I'm saying is that overall, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I would say I would give it a sort of 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Or So what do you think?
Overall, I thought it was a spectacular piece of filmmaking and an extraordinary accomplishment on such a scale. And you've got to remember that now I sort of argue the other way when people say, yeah, but when they're on the ships, they're actually on the ships and they're actually rowing. There's no CGI, which of course is something that Nolan is famous for doing. He likes to use minimal CGI if possible. So the horses,
that stuff's
the ships
great.
are the ships. The storm is actually, there's bloody big waves and wind. Now, it's impressive. At the same time, well, that's actually kind of what classical filmmaking maybe was about. That's what they did. They did, actually maybe go on a boat. In Jaws, they were on a boat. I know it's a slightly smaller scale, but they're still on a boat. They're still not cheating, if you know what I mean. Which, of course, Troy, all the big films cheat now. Okay, Braveheart, they actually did fight out in the fields with thousands of extras. So, it's not I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying that it's impressive filmmaking. One thing I will say is it's entirely what I expected. I went in thinking, what is Nolan going to do that makes this original? Because I do think he's an original filmmaker, way back to the very beginning. In fact, following the film that you haven't seen that he made over the course of a year, he shot on weekends. It's structurally, the narrative is structurally interesting. It showed all the hallmarks of what he loves about flipping with time. Then came Memento, which I thought is still probably my favorite Nolan film, because I just think narratively it's so brilliant and so clever. The fact that it's essentially told backwards.
It is wonderful, and it gets better each time you watch it.
It does, and you find new things in it. The Prestige, I think, is also up there with one of my favorite Nolan films, because that also plays with time and goes back, and the twists, the construction of the basically the film is.
And it's got Bowie. Bowie's in it.
And it's got Bowie. It's got the Pledge, the Turn, and the Prestige. Structurally, the film is made up like that. Very clever. The Dark Knight trilogies are great. They're great.
What did you think of sorry to interrupt. The third one, which is with Bane.
I really like it.
I think it's is it considered the best or the weakest, or I don't know what.
I think The Dark Knight is considered the best.
Is it? Is that the one with
Heath Ledger?
Yes.
But he's very much rooted in realism. He made Batman as if this actually happens.
Yeah, I like that.
It's actually happening, which I think he did. He's doing with the Odyssey as well.
Yeah.
Now, you keep Inception. There's something extremely, it's original. It's not what you expect in a heist film. Oppenheimer was really interesting because of the perspectives, the way he used the perspectives from different Downey Jr.'s character to Oppenheimer himself, black and white, again flipping with time. The Odyssey, I was thinking, he's going to do something, and actually he didn't. He did it pretty much. In fact, I think he probably followed much of the structure of Homer's original, because I know that
the only thing he didn't include was the Phaeacians, which I understand you can't include everything. It's impossible.
No, of course.
It's a shame, but what are you going to do?
So I think it's as a piece of narrative storytelling, it's kind of exactly there was nothing magically original about it. Magically original. However, I thought it was really impressive filmmaking. I agree. I thought to myself, even with Nolan's name attached, how interesting would it have been? And we've seen that it has worked because Mel Gibson has done it. If the entire thing had been in ancient Greek.
Now that is what I wanted. And if I were being really annoying, I would hire only Greek actors.
Well, I mean, it would have been. Of course, you wouldn't have had this cast that you have here.
No, exactly. I mean, I love Matt Damon, but I'd ditch Damon and get in a Greek.
It would have sold.
No, well, it would have.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
Because Mel Gibson's film
and authentic.
Yeah, but the Gibson film, The Passion of the Christ, did fantastically well, probably because of the subject matter.
Yes, probably, and the fact that it had already had the rumor that it was extremely violent. That it was, oh my God, this is the nastiest film ever made.
And actually, the Odyssey was not extremely violent.
No, but it's the closest sections. There is the closest that Nolan's got to horror, I would say. I
thought the sort of Cersei section, visiting the Cersei, played by Samantha Morton, who was really good.
Yeah,
who'd have thought that?
She's great. She's a great actress.
I'm a Morton skeptic, but I actually thought she was very good.
Yeah, no, she's wonderful, and of course, there's the there's the idea that all the Brits are actually playing Americans.
The accents. Yeah, the accent.
Probably to fit in with the fact that Matt Damon can't do an English accent, maybe.
Can you not?
I don't know. Has he ever? Maybe Nolan was like, let's just keep it consistent. But
I know that it's no more unreasonable to have American than to have British.
Exactly.
It's still Jaws. Sorry.
Yeah.
Especially John. Can we get it out? John Bernthal playing Menelaus. It seemed like. I love John Bernthal, but I'm not sure he was great as Menelaus. He seemed to be playing a sort of a gangster from central LA or something.
Yeah, this is the thing about, I guess, the accent. It's like Harvey Keitel being from the Bronx in The Last Temptation of Christ, playing Judas. It doesn't. It can jar. Now for Americans,
Also, he had shaved his head and had a beard as well, which also made him look a little bit more like a gangster.
But Nolan, you know what? Nolan's clever because he's an intellectual, evidently. He's not often formulaic. However, he's got a head for being commercial and making sure that the big bucks come in at the box office by certain things like the cast, making them American. Fine, it's his spectacle that counts, not which is kind of ironic because you could look at it as him neglecting the authenticity of the actual characters and cast. However, he casts Harry Styles in Dunkirk. That's a bloody clever commercial move, because all of Harry Styles fans are going to go and see Dunkirk, which is something they probably wouldn't. Sorry, Harry Styles fans, but they may not run to the cinema to see a war film.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a commercial head on his shoulders.
Was that why he picked Matt Damon then, do you think?
Well, I think to be honest, I think Matt Damon is great.
He's a kind of everyman. Yeah, I don't think he was cunning enough.
No, but I think but the weird thing is that I don't think necessarily that was Nolan's vision in this, because I was a bit skeptical before I went in and going, Matt Damon as Odysseus. I mean, isn't that, maybe you'd think of someone like Christian Bale if you're going Hollywood, or I don't know. You're thinking English or British.
Sean Bean's
Matt
too
Damon,
old now, I think.
Yeah, and he's also not box office draw like Matt Damon is. I mean, Matt Damon is massive.
Yeah.
When the film started, within about 10 minutes, I was not 10 minutes. After he comes in, I thought, yeah, actually, he's good. I think he's very good. He is he's a leader. But I don't think when you say cunning, I've seen it twice. On the second viewing, I thought this film is about guilt and post-traumatic stress disorder, and what Ward, the timeless message. If any film or book has existed that's timeless, it really is.
Yeah, but I don't know if this just really was that fussed about the sack of Troy.
This or in
the Odyssey.
Original.
Yeah, in the Odyssey. I think he was more. He wanted to just get home.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I think what Nolan was doing here is kind of really bridging the time gap, and this is war does no good. Is the overriding message of this. The fact that he's haunted by these images of his vision of Athena is Zendaya, but of course is a girl in Troy who they behead. It's total and utter guilt-ridden. And the speech he has as the beggar to Penelope at the end, is for me is like, well, this is all about war and the futility of it, and getting home, of course. Now, I was actually quite moved the second time I watched it. I wasn't the first time, but I really let it sink in, and I thought the Penelope Odysseus relationship was actually very moving, and I didn't completely agree with you about Anne Hathaway. I thought she was awesome, and I thought Penelope was actually when she comes in with the bow and says, I thought she was so queenly.
I think that I'm talking about that particular scene, which I think was.
I didn't. Okay, you could nitpick about the dialogue a little bit, but the thing is that, is it because it's the Odyssey, and so we're sort of trying to marry this style of dialogue?
Well, her behavior, or the way she portrayed Penelope's behavior in that, it was so different to how she had been in for the rest of the film. Really, it just didn't.
Well, I thought she's a mother in that scene, and her son has basically attempted to.
Well, he's basically saying it's a shit situation, and I've got to try and work our way out of it. And she's not particularly.
And you should get married. But the thing is, I guess that after all these years, he's basically saying you should get married so that we can get. And she's like, as she feels, betrayed by him, who she loves deeply. But I guess she wanted him to understand. No, I'm doing this. I've been doing this for years because I believe he's alive and he's coming back. So I kind of understand a little bit of a hissy fit in that. I thought
Robert Pattinson was superb.
He's so well cast, which kind of makes you wonder how much of a. I'm sure he's not a shit in real life.
Right. I actually thought he would have made quite a good Odysseus, actually, but he is just fantastic. He really is. He's very good at Why is he not mentioned in the conversations for James Bond? He'd be a fantastic Bond.
Yeah, they don't cast Bond with very famous actors, if you notice historically. I would say it's because he's too well known.
Yeah.
It needs to be a sort of a character actor who's been in the odd thing, that supporting cast, and you're like, oh, him.
When she said I don't dance now, I make money moves, that was a mission statement for a whole new generation.
Respect, but that's not the Mount Rushmore. Listen, cash rules everything around me. When that line dropped, it changed the whole hustle. The greatest tracks are never finished. They're just debated forever. Introducing the Sprite Living Track List. 50 tracks that shape the culture from 6 decades of hip-hop. Scan the QR code on a Sprite or Sprite Zero Sugar to see the full breakdown. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Have no fear, Chosen Foods is here to defend your favorite foods from the forces of seedy oils and sketchy ingredients. With cooking oils, salad dressings, and mayo, all powered by the good fats from 100% pure avocado oil and simple, delicious ingredients. Chosen Foods.
Yeah.
Anyway, the you know who I adored though in this film is John Leguizamo. I thought he was absolutely
Yeah, he was pretty good
amazing.
actually. Yeah, he was good. Yeah. And you mentioned Zendaya, who I don't know if I've seen. Oh, I've watched the Dune film. She's in that, isn't she?
And Spider-Man
Part 1. I don't watch those silly Spider-Man films, I'm afraid. They're ridiculous. But
have you seen them?
Sorry?
Have you seen them?
I watched the first one with Tobey Maguire. Willem Dafoe was good.
No, the Tom Holland ones are good. You're not a Marvel.
It's a cartoon. It's silly. And although I quite want to watch Lanterns because it's got one of my favorite actors in it, the brilliant named guy who I've forgotten. Right. You know, the guy from the FBI agent in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, yes.
Him. That guy who was in that other film that was out last year. What?
Oh, so annoying. He's one of the best character actors around.
He's in Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, and he's in and in fact he's in the best scene in Wolf of Wall Street on the boat.
He is. Oh, I will love that scene.
Yeah, and he's in King Kong, and yeah, I know. Oh God, I keep forgetting his name. That's really bad.
Carl Chandler.
He's
Lanterns. I want to watch that.
Right. Okay.
But that's because it seems a sort of bit realistic. But a guy jumping around in a suit with webbing coming out of his hand, no, it's silly.
Okay.
That's why I can watch Batman Begins, even though he's obviously, and the film shows he has deep psychological issues. But at least he's not got superpowers. But when they have superpowers and they sort of start jumping around, I think
Marvel isn't your thing.
Silly. Sorry?
Marvel isn't your thing.
No, it's not my thing, I'm afraid. Okay. No, most of them I find ludicrous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Odyssey is perfectly
actually, it's interesting because I was going to mention this. The thing about the Odyssey is that they show Zendaya playing Athena, and it's sort of suggested that he's going slightly mad and he's imagining her. But there are hints of divine intervention in other areas, which I quite liked.
Absolutely.
I completely got. But I note in some of the reviews of the films, they were saying, there are no gods apart from Athena, and she only appears to him. And I'm not sure that's right. I think Poseidon, even though he doesn't make an appearance, his presence is felt. Same as Zeus.
He's in the storms and, essentially... Well, that's a bit odd because they, in fact, say, if you eat the cow, he's gonna get pissed, and he does. The wind drops immediately. They leave, and then there's a massive storm. That's the gods at work.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that he didn't show. I think it's actually more interesting that he didn't.
I liked it.
Yeah. Of course,
but
is,
I mean, there were bits of it that I did quite like. Some of the language. I mean, we need to get off this fucking beach. Great, liked all that. I didn't. I didn't mind the sort of "let's go" and the sort of "he's my dad" was slightly grating with Tom Holland playing a sort of adolescent American, but it's fine. I quite like some of the elements to it. It's just that it didn't particularly. I just don't think it had much of a heart to it. And then there were some weird things, like he is striving to get home, and then the moment he gets home, and this is a big spoiler alert, he gets on a boat and buggers off west
with her,
which is I thought was stupid.
I found that quite moving.
I thought that was dumb.
I felt that the will to get home to his wife. I like the fact that his memory was a bit clouded. But what a shame he was stuck with Charlize Theron on a beach for 7 years. I mean,
I know,
how awful. But there was something that he was striving to remember, and the absolute I felt a profound longing between both of them. And when he does get, and she recognizes who it is, and he strings the bow, I felt it quite moving, but also.
Oh yeah, that's the stringing the bow scene was good, although it slightly missed the trick with the axes not having a little loop at the top. It made his feat of firing through the axes less impressive.
Okay.
But
I like the line, the setting about the chasing of the setting sun. I thought that was quite nice. I did
all this talk of sea peoples I thought was a bit ludicrous as well, but
okay.
Then it kind of was revealed that actually it was not being hospitable or upsetting Zeus or something. I thought that was a little bit clumsy, actually.
It's weird because I felt it was one of Nolan's more emotional films. I felt that I know what you mean about being cold, because he is quite often cold. Or can I actually, in parentheses on this topic, when you say about ideas, I do think that's one of the reasons, apart from the Dark Knight trilogy, which of course isn't his original work because it's based on an extremely well-established myth. All of his titles, every single one of them, is a one-word title, unless it has "the" in front of it.
Yes,
which kind of, it does indicate that his films are about a concept as opposed to people.
Interesting. Yeah.
Now, funnily enough, the first film where I think he really did delve into emotion, Interstellar, I do think he went a bit far when Anne Hathaway starts talking about maybe love is the answer in the universe, and I thought, what the hell is a scientist? A scientist who's space traveling in
that's where I think
space,
he's not very good at dialogue.
Talking about love, and then it kind of brought me out of the film for momentarily, anyway. Whereas I do think Oppenheimer, there was quite a nice, I think, well-developed emotional core because of the way it not only is the whole concept haunting Oppenheimer himself, but I thought his relationship with his wife was really, really excellent.
I loved Oppenheimer.
I actually thought, in the Odyssey, he was trying to get home to his wife and child, which I thought, as a sort of
but that's why he gets home and then he immediately leaves his child and gets on a boat.
Well,
for another voyage,
as a kid,
having not resolved the whole upsetting Poseidon thing, very unwise.
No, of course, but he's handing the scepter. He's not fit enough to rule, I guess, and he wants to essentially live a quiet life and go honor his men, and be with his wife. And Telemachus will rule; it'll be fine. That's what happened in those days.
Look, it's. I just think it ruined the end, really. But maybe he had a problem with the end. How do we end it?
How does the Odyssey end?
Oh well,
Odyssey.
I think he is returned to the marital bed quite literally, which I don't think they showed actually, which is another missed trick, where the bed is carved out of an olive tree in the palace, and unfortunately, he's as a final test, Penelope says to Odysseus, "Well, if you're feeling all knackered or something along these lines, this is obviously not direct translation, and we'll get the bed, we'll move the bed down so you don't have to go upstairs." And he gets very angry and says, "Who's destroyed my bed? The bed can't be moved." And that is the final test where she knows. He is.
I quite like the end. I thought it resolved itself quite well.
The budget for the film, I know the budget was, it says $250 million. Now they did save a few quid by using the Batman costume for Agamemnon.
Right. Yeah.
Which I have to say, Agamemnon walking through the gates of Troy.
Yeah.
Dressed as Batman.
Yeah. I thought they were great.
I think it was too close to Batman, I'm afraid. It was. Batman didn't cross your mind when you saw that?
A little bit. But I just thought, that's okay. We're going to draw parallels,
I'm not entirely sure Batman and the Odyssey mix, but maybe there's I mean, they're both, I guess, Batman is sort of American version of myth, isn't he?
Absolutely. And I thought, the Siege of Troy, the scenes,
that was fine.
Well done,
perfectly reasonable.
Well done, Battlefield. I thought that the climax, was very well done. He can certainly direct action. He has this absolutely 100% constant tact of intercutting suspense and building. It's always like a slow turning of the screw in building suspense in Nolan films, even to the point where music rising, the beat getting faster and faster, really drawn out. He does it in virtually every film.
And he does that in the attack on Troy. But I just think that I need to watch it again. But I thought tactically the Trojans were a bit rubbish. I remember watching.
Yeah, they were very easily beaten.
Which I didn't like. But also, there were other bits where he showed a great sense of humor. For example, they overhear Polyphemus, the Cyclops, speaking Greek. They say, "Oh, well, perhaps we can reason with him."
Yeah, I think we're past that.
I think we're past that. Was very good.
I don't know if you're the same. I felt so sorry for Polyphemus.
Yeah, it's done quite well.
And
very well. Very good.
And it was a great sequence. But
there was a bit of cunning wordplay, which he obviously didn't think would work, I suppose, with the use of when Polyphemus wants to know who's blinded him. And Odysseus in the film doesn't give the name, which is sort of nobody or no one.
Right. I see.
So, and it's quite clever wordplay in the Odyssey, which is, I guess, adds to the cunning of Odysseus, which is not really, all he does in the end is fire an arrow at Polyphemus as opposed which I think was a slight missed opportunity, really.
There's one sequence in the film I wish he hadn't brushed over as quickly. And I thought it was very well done. And I thought Matt Damon was excellent. And that's the sirens.
Yes. Then I was thinking about that, and I was thinking the sirens it's one of the major sort of episodes of his journey. And it's the one that everyone reading and then watching or whatever, but reading the Odyssey wants to know, oh my God, what is the sound of the sirens? And maybe you just sort of build it up so much that it was impossible for Nolan to deliver.
I thought that it was good that we didn't hear, the sound became muffled when they put the wax in the air, and then all you see is Odysseus' reaction. But I like the fact that they sort of just sit up. You see them on the rocks and they sit up. Now, am I right in thinking, because this is what I remember from school. I have read the Odyssey, by the way.
Well done.
And you know, the main episodes in my memory, of course, are the Cyclops, Circe, the Sirens. Am I right in thinking that they get really mad that the ship doesn't stop? I have a memory of them going absolutely ape at the fact that they pass by unharmed, beating the rocks, with going absolutely crazy. Isn't there a theory that they kill themselves if they don't stop?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Or something, but maybe I'm just completely making that up. But that's a memory that I have of, you know, seeing the Sirens illustrated as well when I was at school, and then they're raging.
Yeah.
But anyway, maybe not. Maybe I'll just completely make that's a false memory.
No, I'm just okay. So I'm cheating here to pretend. I could pretend, listeners. I could pretend that I knew this, and then edit it so it sound even cleverer. But just looking at Wikipedia, some post-Homeric authors state that the Sirens were fated to die if someone heard their singing and escaped them.
Right. Okay.
So that's post-Homeric.
Okay.
So you did not invent that. You are right, but it's not in the Odyssey.
Right. Okay. Fine. Okay. So he's being faithful to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought that, but I thought the sequence was really good.
Yeah. I thought of all of them. I thought the Circe, the sort of turning, that was absolutely extraordinary scene. Okay. Should we do some awards then?
Sure.
Okay. Best performance.
Let's do it, and we can do predictions. You know, for the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Do you think the Oscars will ignore it?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he has ticked the diversity box, which I believe will mean that they're happy about that.
I don't think he'll get screenplay nomination, but I think he will probably get directing nomination.
He shouldn't get a screenplay nomination, I don't think. Best adapted screenplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Best performance then. Okay, so best actor. So I guess who's up there? Obviously Matt Damon, but who else? Is there anyone who's sort of screen time enough to challenge him?
Oh, I see.
I'd like to put Robert Pattinson somewhere, but I don't know if he's in it quite a bit.
Not sure he's but is he in it enough?
There was that weird diversion, by the way, which I didn't like, to Pylos. The Temple of Athena, that was a bit weird. I didn't think that was very good. Pointless. It was like he had opened up a box and found sort of 10 million and thought, oh God, we've got 10 million. We may as well spend it on an extra scene. Because it just didn't seem to fit in with the story. It was unnecessary.
Right.
But anyway, best performance.
I thought Hamish Patel was very good as well, actually. He's sort of underrated. He's not mentioned often, but...
Is he the deputy on the boat?
Yeah, I thought it was good. But it'll be difficult because Damon is Odysseus, and I thought he was very good. I actually just thought he was very good. It's probably not easy, but he made it look effortless in the sense that, you didn't really see his acting. It's just the time thing, isn't it? It's kind of screen time that anyone.
But I think you had Robert Pattinson in it quite a bit. You had what's his name, Tom Holland in it.
Tom Holland, I thought was very good, but it wasn't a part that
Anne Hathaway, she's in it quite a lot.
I thought she was great, but I would put her as support. She'd have to be a supporting actress. I would give her for sure. But the problem is you've got Samantha Morton as well, even though she's in it for not a long time.
I thought Samantha Morton. Okay, so if we do 2 awards, one best,
we're not separating
actor. No, we're lumping them all in, and one best supporting. I'd put Samantha Morton best supporting.
Yeah, I would as well.
And then for main actor, I'd go Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
Because I just think Matt Damon, it was a bit understated, and I want more from my Odysseus.
Right.
Odysseus is
more in terms of.
He's not a kind of. I don't think he is a bit of an everyman. I think he's intelligent, cunning.
Do you mean in the original? You mean Odysseus as the mythological figure?
Yeah, and I find it difficult to separate. And I found Matt Damon.
Well, he did come up with the Trojan horse idea. That's pretty
yeah,
funny.
of course. But I just a little bit too much of a kind of journeyman, very competently played. And I love Matt Damon. I absolutely love him. But I just don't. It was just a little bit too pedestrian.
Okay.
Whereas I thought Robert Pattinson was.
I thought Robert
having
Pattinson
a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, he was having a lot of fun. I found Robert Pattinson totally convincing, an excellent weedy little shit actually, because you know when in the final climax when the guy's throwing everything and he's like, get the shit. He's doing nothing. He's hiding behind a bloody pillar.
He's hiding behind a pillar. Yeah, it's wonderful.
And yes, he's very good at that. I just think he's very good at that. You know.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Almost too good. Yeah.
It didn't make me go, wow, what a performance. That surprised me. Whereas Damon, I thought, you know, to lead such a big film, and I do think he was, you know, I thought he had dimension to him, not just you know, his Hades scene I thought was great. In fact, everyone on Hades I thought was really good. Especially what's his name? He was
Effie. Sephi.
No, he was in. Oh no,
played Agamemnon.
You know, I like him a lot, but Benny Safdie.
Yeah,
but this guy was in Oppenheimer. He was the bad guy in 48 Hours.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. James Remar.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's with the hood on the, you know, so he's great.
Yeah.
But I thought Matt Damon was. I think we should give him credit because I think it wasn't an easy job.
Do you think he'll get nominated in the Oscars?
I think so.
Okay, well let's give it to him then, because we can try and influence the Oscar people.
Right.
Right. Okay. What about most egregious overacting? I think John Bernthal's a candidate here.
Possibly. I do like it. I thought he was. It didn't again take me out of the film, but egregious overacting. So.
And Anne Hathaway when she has her little strop.
Yeah, that's the bit. You can't get away. We'll have to mention that then because it's your favorite
okay.
scene.
Anne Hathaway wins for her strop.
Okay.
Although John Bernthal runs her close, I think. So next is biggest plot flaw.
Oh, I've got one.
Great.
Plot flaw. Am I right in thinking people can write in here? But you know the Trojan horse on the beach. He said we people drowned when the tide came in. The Mediterranean has no tides. It's a non-tidal sea.
Oh, I love that.
Or it does, but it's like an inch. It's because of the Straits of Gibraltar. It's closed virtually, so there's no movement.
They're much smaller than those at the Atlantic, it says. So you're absolutely right. It's like 1 meter. So
a meter then.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have drowned people in a Trojan or on the beach.
No. And also, wouldn't you leave the horse just a little bit further in, you know, a meter in? Just like if it, okay, let's say it was 2 meters.
Yeah.
So that's the height of a tall man. So obviously a lot of water. So you just leave it 2 meters in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Done.
That is a good plot flaw. I love that, Tim. Well done. Okay.
It just struck me the second time I watched it. I didn't notice it the first time, but I thought because I grew up in Spain and I remember it's like there were no tides. Yeah,
I mean, the sort of rather poor, the Trojans being a bit crap at defending their city. I mean, the city did get sacked, not because of any kind of tactical deficiency. Just, I'm just trying to think what else there is.
Plot flaw also in terms of historical or just nonsense.
Well, I mean, you know, the Batman costume. That's historical inaccuracy. I think we can. I mean, that's my nomination. That's coming next. But let's go with the title thing.
Okay.
Right. Historical inaccuracy. I mean, it isn't pure history, so it's difficult. It's tough on Nolan. We're being a bit harsh here, but I think the Batman costume might have been a problem.
Wasn't Damon's costume? Well, in fact, the soldier.
The helmet.
Yeah, wasn't that a problem?
not for me. It wasn't. I mean, maybe, but then as the guest on a previous episode, Henry Power, and recommend any listeners interested in the Odyssey go back and listen to that. He was discussing the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, which Homer has anachronisms in it. Homer uses armor from 8th, 9th century BC, discussing a conflict from 400 years earlier. So, and you see, I think the palace at Ithaca is a Venetian sort of 12th, 13th century.
Well, wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it shot in Italy?
Yeah, I think it was shot all over the Med, wasn't it? Interestingly shot in a part of Morocco that I think is claimed by Morocco. It was Eastern Sahara, Western Sahara, or something like that.
Yeah, there was a bit of controversy. I remember when it was reported where they were shooting.
Yeah. Anyway, so historical inaccuracy. I am going to go with a Batman costume.
Okay.
Because that's all I did. The moment I saw him, I thought, what's Batman doing in this?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that, actually.
No, I did quite like what he did well is that he showed this sort of menacing ferocity that Agamemnon, I guess, he's been sort of painted as this sort of terrible, terrible man.
Yeah. I like the fact that you never see his face, even though when he gets home and Clytemnestra kills him.
Yeah, Mycenae, yeah.
You know, it's all shot from behind him, and you never see his face. Which I thought was quite clever. The Lystragonians.
That was fantastic. Yeah, their armor.
Brief. It was quite. That again was quite brief.
That was done, and they were wearing what medieval armor. But again, it was more because Batman, you know,
Meganemnon.
Agamat. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, Tarantino. So Tarantino had a crack at the Odyssey. I think I have to say, having watched Nolan's attempt, I would rather watch. I would have more anticipation for Tarantino to make the Odyssey. It's the benefit of hindsight, I know, but
I would certainly be intrigued.
I would love to watch Tarantino make the Odyssey.
Yeah, I don't think it would have as much of an epic. I mean, because Nolan is all about epic. You know, he loved big. So
has Tarantino ever made an epic?
Well, it depends what you define as an epic, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not like this. You know, Kill Bill is sort of epic in its. I mean, it's two films, 4 hours. I suppose.
2 films in one. Yeah.
Django's pretty big and on its scale.
Yeah.
I guess. But not
really
epic like this. No.
Any updates on what he's working on? Because he had a script and then it got released and he decided not to do it anymore, didn't he?
Oh, it's his play, which is going to the West End next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, will you be able to get me some tickets for that?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously I'll pay, but
it'll be. I'm sure it'll be sold. It's called the Popinjay Cavalier. It's a 18th century farce.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Right. Rumor has it that Simon Pegg may lead it. But it's going to. Yeah, I mean, a Tarantino West End play that he's directing as well. So
cool.
That'll be weird.
I think he would have made. I think maybe some of the. I don't know. I really like the Cyclops scene. So there was a lot of tension in that. That
I have a question about the Cyclops scene though. Okay, the Cyclops attacks eats one or two or whatever. He then he falls asleep. They go, oh, don't kill him because we can't move the rock. So the next morning he moves the rock. Some go out, but then Odysseus turns around and jumps back in again.
Yeah.
Which kind of jarred me. Is that because there is still
I don't think he wanted to leave his men behind, did he?
Some men, yeah. The thing is I think Nolan just brushed over the fact that there were some still in there. I've seen it twice. And the second time I was watching very carefully because I remember the first time thinking, why has he gone back in? And again, I kind of lost a little bit of the clarity that I still haven't seen the other people inside. But then he goes back inside, and then he's with some people, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it could have been clearer. But anyway.
Oh,
whatever.
I see. Okay, put plot flaw. We'll put that back in the plot flaw category along with the tides.
Yeah, okay.
So I think I'd have been more up for a kind of Tarantino, but I don't know how he'd have done it. But
so this is your least favorite Nolan film?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Because I love all his films. I mean, that's why I don't want you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm being unfair because I'm a huge Nolan fan. Love all his films.
See, I would still put Tenet as my least favorite.
I love Tenet. I
know you do. I think you like it more than some.
Yeah, I mean, first time I watched it, I didn't have a bloody clue what was going on.
It's too. What look at this concept that I've come up with. And I hate the fact that one character in the film says, don't try to understand it. That's basically saying, don't try to understand this film. No, that's not good enough.
No, I don't agree, because you can understand that film. But time travel is notoriously complicated.
It's not time travel. It's time inversion.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why I think if you remove that concept of entropy from Tenet, I think you've got actually just a mediocre spy. It's not great. I don't think it's that great. It's actually ticking very formulaic boxes, and it's basically his Bond film. It is his Bond film, but Kenneth Branagh is like another entirely caricatured Russian baddie.
He's great, Branagh, in it. He's wonderful. I love Branagh.
Yeah, that's my least favorite.
Oh dear, right. Yeah. Okay, so you're quite harsh. How many points out of 5 would you give the Tenet then?
Probably about 2.
That's about what I'm giving the Odyssey.
Yeah.
I might
give the Odyssey probably 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm
because I think that for what it is, it's a great accomplishment. It's just it's a little predictable in its structure, in the way it's done. I don't see, it would have been, basically like something like Dunkirk. You go into Dunkirk going, it's going to be like, oh, that's clever. The structure, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week.
Yeah.
Because that raises the suspense. That's actually a suspense device. Whereas if he'd just done something with the Odyssey that made it slightly different.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It would have been 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it would have been 3.5 out of 5 for me.
As a piece of filmmaking, it's I think it's very, very accomplished. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I think the Oscars are quite important in the whole who won the film category, and we don't really know if Nolan will be rewarded again, because remember, he sort of cleaned up over Oppenheimer, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he will, if it'll win.
Yeah. Do you think Matt Damon?
I don't know. It depends. We've still got another 6 months, because most of the award films, remember, they tend to come out later in the year.
Right.
Nolan always releases in the summer because he's commercial.
Mr. Blockbuster.
He wants and I'm sure it's going to rake it in.
Well, I think I'm probably going to say Matt Damon won the film, but yeah. If he didn't if he doesn't win the Oscar, and they give it to someone else like Samantha Morton or who else is very good in this film?
I thought John Leguizamo could get a Best Supporting Actor nomination because I thought he was.
Yeah,
you see, he's very heart emotional. I thought that I was very moved when Odysseus returns and pretends to be a beggar, and he talks to him, and the guy, he's out in his front yard, and the guys.
I know it's an emotional. I just don't feel it in the film. I'm afraid
when Odysseus says Odysseus is still alive, and John Leguizamo breaks down and says enough because he's heard this before. I thought that was quite emotional, because the point being.
I'm not sure if I believed it as much as you did.
Really? What I thought, what it made me think, I'll tell you. What it made me think was, imagine a world or a country where you love your king so much that you would do anything, that you would die for your king.
Are you thinking of King Charles III right now?
I'm drawing distinct parallel lines. I thought, well, what I actually think is, I just don't know if a world will ever exist like that again. But they probably did. I mean, there may be some, people will probably die for Trump, let's be honest, somewhere in the Midwest.
Okay, I'm just now worried about my listeners in the Midwest.
Sorry. Yes. No, I'm just, it's an example. But that's what moved me. It did move me that this guy, and it's also symbolically represented in the dog, which was also quite moving.
Yeah, that was quite nice.
That he won't give up because he feels that he still serves someone, and as honourable as he considers Odysseus to be. So it's not only what happens on screen; it's what conjures in your imagination.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my thought on it.
Good. All right. Well, I guess that means, therefore, it's we're going to say Leguizamo then, just for a bit of a curveball.
Why not?
And well, Tim, this is great. Thank you. Next, we're going to do on the Film Club. Although, yes, I'm just trying to work out when I'm releasing this, because we're going to do Inglourious Bastards, aren't we?
We are.
So I wonder how we'll flip some of the categories. Well, it'd be interesting to talk about that.
What if Tarantino made this?
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe what if Nolan made Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I look forward to discussing that with you. I love that film, and many people think it's his best.
Yeah, some people do.
We will discuss Tarantino, I think, in a little bit more detail. Yeah. Because I think we probably both have thoughts about that. But thanks as ever, Tim.
Thank you so much for having me.
And listeners, thank you for listening. We've come to the end of this club meeting, so thank you for listening. If you want to get in touch about club benefits, please do, either by email or on X or Instagram. Links are in the show notes. I've also included my Substack link so members can read articles I've written on various matters that may be of interest. The History Book Club is written and presented by me, Oliver Webb-Carter. Music is by listener Chat DMZ. Episodes continue next week and every week, so please do join, subscribe, and if you can provide the club with a 5-star rating, we would be delighted. In the meantime, I thank you again, and now I have to usher members out into the real world. Until next time.
Have no fear, Chosen Foods is here to defend your favorite foods from the forces of seedy oils and sketchy ingredients. With cooking oils, salad dressings, and mayo, all powered by the good fats from 100% pure avocado oil and simple, delicious ingredients. Chosen Foods.
Athletic Brewing Company crafts award-winning non-alcoholic beers for those who want to be part of every round. With over 185 flavor awards, they're exceptional NA beers that fit your lifestyle and any social occasion. Summer's full of good times, and Athletic fits right in. Go to athleticbrewing.com to have brews delivered to your door, or find them at a bar, restaurant, or store near you. Near beer. Athletic Brewing Company. Fit for all times.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.